Freemason striding freely with the second mortgage, and they go to the lead together now at the 1600. Freemason eventually working to the lead. The second mortgage will settle in second placing. Rum outside Altiro, who's dropped back to fourth the inside. They were trailed then by Viva La Vie, who wants to pull and has let stride three deep going towards the leaders. Next is All Tanked Up, racing wide, being trailed closely in the field by Gone over on the inside rail as they climb the hill near the back of the course. Back behind those horses then is Rain Gauge, Karazi just ahead of it, trailed by Ills, and then just on it, Tyroline nearly a length away on the inside, and then Skybo, Mr. Prudent, and Matriculate. Freemason heading to the 1,000-metre mark, led Viva La Vie, who strode into second placing. The second mortgage now gets a good trail. Rum is fourth, El Tiro fifth the inside from All Tacked Up. A length Karazi, another length to Rain Gauge, trailed then by Gone and Ills. Another length away then just on it to the outside from Tyroline. At the 800-metre mark, third last is Skybo, Matriculate about to take off, and Mr. Prudent up the side. And it's Freemason by a length and a quarter. Viva La Vie second. The second mortgage over on the rail from El Tiro, and Rum's now out 3 or 4 wide. They were trailed then by Gone coming through on the inside from All Tanked Up. Rain Gauge about to start its run. And back behind them, Karazi, Matriculate, Tyroline strung up and a fair way from them. As they cornered, it's Freemason narrowly from the second mortgage out to challenge, and then Viva La Vie and Rum down the outside. Clear of Rain Gauge, and then came El Tiro, the second mortgage at the 250. He went up to join Freemason, and wider out is Rum, and Gone is getting a rails run. The second mortgage and Freemason, they're racing very tight together. Freemason the inside, and the second mortgage, the whip's cracking. Freemason doing too well. Freemason wanted to nick the second mortgage. A length to Rain Gauge, and then Karazi and Just Honor, trailed closely by Tyroline. Back behind them was Mr. Prudent making ground along the inside. He was trailed further back then by Viva La Vie, Gone, Rum, Skybo. Further back in the field, El Tiro, and they were trailed well back by All Tanked Up, who had a torrid run. Matriculate towards the end, and Ills is last in.
Well, I think they handed it to Darren Gauci on Freemason when nothing wanted to lead. He took the running and he won the money. $14.40 and $4. The second mortgage $1.80, and Rain Gauge was third, also paid $1.80. 1.14 and 5 on the Winning Edge Presentations handicap. Here's Freemason in the cerise colours. Outside of him in the purple is the second mortgage. That's Gone over on the rails looking for a run. But no doubt about the winner. Freemason found too much under pressure for the second mortgage and won the prize. As Ronnie Duffy said, first race, pre-race I should say, first start back to handicap company this time in, and that's what he wanted. And he's right in the cups now, up to his ears. Around the turn, Freemason on the rails from second mortgage, Viva La Vie, Rum in the yellow sleeves and the red cap, Gone over on the rails. El Tiro couldn't do any better. Down the centre of the track came the George Hanlon train. Rain Gauge, but it's between the first two, Freemason and the second mortgage, with Freemason winning from the second mortgage. Rain Gauge was third, and out deep was Just Honor. What a run it to finish in fourth spot. Here's Tim Sheridan.
Thanks, Kenny. Well, Jack Ingham's just been good enough to postpone his celebrations for a couple of seconds for us. Jack, a fantastic return to form.
That was lovely, yeah. Unexpected. It was great.
Why unexpected?
Well, his last couple of runs haven't been so good.
Yeah. Terrific ride in the front, though.
Yeah, it was great. There was no speed, and he did the right thing, really. It was great.
OK, and in the Guineas coming up?
Well, I'm hoping. That's all you can do in those big races, I hope.
We better let you enjoy this one, mate. Thanks and congratulations.
Thanks, great.
OK, thank you very much, Tim. Racing very closely together, Ron Duffy here. Freemason on the rails, the second mortgage outside of him. Rum couldn't do any better. He's just been overtaken there by Rain Gauge.
Yeah, Rain Gauge was a good run because he was the one to make up good ground, and Just Honor, he's a very promising stayer in the making, but he just wanted to get off the fence a little bit, Freemason, and be handy to see the head on, but he was holding the second mortgage on the line, and good, tough season stayer, and back on track for the Cups.
Yes, and Karasi just finished behind the place getters, a nice run in the yellow colours. Simon Marshall was with the Gouch.
Thank you very much, Kenny. And Darren, well, he's very hard to find this horse on his day, but Hawks, he obviously had him right, and you gave him a beautiful ride.
Yeah, it worked out nicely for him. He jumped better today, and he's been working a big Keane, wanting to race over Keane. And
yep.
John said to me, don't hesitate and go in the front if you feel like you should. And he went to front and he travelled nice. He's become more of a one-place type of horse this preparation, Simon. But it's nice to see him back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, he's been a Cups chance throughout the years. Daz, this might be his year.
I hope so, Simon. He ran well in both cups last year, so
All right.
he's got a main chance.
Well, Darren, we're going to see those colours go around the Guineas. You're riding Long Row for the Hawke stable and the Inghams, and well, geez, he's a great chance, Darren. You'd be happy on board to be on board him.
It's great to be on board a horse with a Long Row, and it's a very good Guineas, and I'm on a good horse with a good chance.
Darren, they say it'll be a tactical battle because there's about 5 chances in the race. Very good horses at that.
Well, it is, Simon. It's going to be a tactical battle, I suppose, but I'll go out there and do the best I can, ride my horse to suit my horse.
Did you bring your bag of tactics, Dazza?
Don't need him, Simon.
Make your own luck. Darren Gauci on Freemason.
Thanks, Simon.
Darren Gauci there in the Cerise. Will we see the Cerise in the Carlton Draft Caulfield Guineas? That's just around the corner here on the wide World of Sports.
The contenders. Viscount, champion at 2, even better at 3.
Oh, this brilliant colt from Sydney, far too good. And Viscount by 2.5.
Lonro, the son of Octagonal. And like Dad, he just doesn't give in.
Lonro's hit the lead with 50 metres to go from Magic Albert, and he is first class Lonro.
Viking Ruler, $1.5 million worth of pure thoroughbred.
Viking Ruler scorched clear with 100 metres to go. The Champion Stakes is all over.
Magic Albert, country trained, country tough.
But Magic Albert, this quality colt from Gosford, presently home in the Peter Pan.
North Boy, the great Southern Hope.
North Boy all too good, and wins it from Euston up.
Royal Code, the smoky from the south.
But Royal Code is striding away, and Royal Code very impressively.
The Caulfield Guineas 2001, coming up on Wide World of Sports.
Welcome back. The closing stages of the Winning Edge Presentation Stakes, and Freemason on the inside with Darren Gauci, the second mortgage with Kieran McAvoy fighting it out, and the Gauch on his home track here at Caulfield saluting for the Ingham brothers and of course John Hawke. So Freemason paying $14.40 and $4. John Hawke's keeping the code of silence there too, and the second mortgage at $1.80, Rain Gauge $1.80. They're the dividends after race 5. Let's have a look at the totes now for race 6. It's the big one today, the Carlton Draft Caulfield Guineas, and Viscount at $7, Lonro at $5.80, Magic Albert from Barrier 12 at $15, North Boy, the best of the local hopes with Damien Oliver there at $4.40, Viking Ruler $11, Euston off $19, Pure Theatre $6.80, Counter Agent at $231, one of the roughies, Tully Dane at $65, Dash for Cash, number 10 at $8.80, Classic Cut $83, Ebony Knight $33, Sir Anabar $35, Royal Code $15, Magic Hatter $1.10, and Tiamo has been scratched from the Caulfield Guineas. Well, when North Boy lines up in the Guineas today, trainer Tony McAvoy will be searching for that all-important Group 1 breakthrough. Since March and the untimely death of Peter Hayes in a light plane crash, the perennial right-hand man is now the boss at Lindsay Park. After 26 years of loyal service to the Hayes family, the former apprentice jockey is holding the reins of a racing empire. Anne-Marie Sparkman caught up with Tony at his magnificent Barossa Valley office.
Lindsay Park, the vision of the late legendary C.S. Hayes. Quite simply, horse heaven. From first footsteps to ultimate glory, the winners keep coming at this internationally acclaimed showplace. The Hayes dynasty, Colin and then sons David and Peter, dominating the Melbourne and Adelaide racing scenes for more than 2 decades. This spring, for the first time, a new name in the racing book for Lindsay Park, Tony McAvoy. No overnight success. 26 years ago, a 15-year-old apprentice jockey arrived here at the Barossa Valley with a head full of dreams.
You know, Colin Hayes was like my second father, if you like. I mean, I left home at such a young age, and not only did he develop me in a career, he developed me as a person. So the place means everything to me.
Good morning.
It has been a long apprenticeship. Sadly, Peter Hayes, the gentleman, the reluctant frontman, was planning to step down at the end of this carnival, wanting to pursue his great passion, flying, the treacherous love that ultimately led to his death in March.
Those first couple of weeks were very difficult to just get everyone together and say we've got to keep going, and that next morning at track work at Lindsay Park, I mean, it was as tough a morning as you could ever have.
presumed David would be forced to leave behind his highly lucrative operation in Hong Kong, but the ebullient younger son had faith and blunt words of advice.
Keep your head down and be humble and let the horses do the talking.
He said, good luck. He said, if you stuff it up, I'll come home, and if you get too good at it, I'll come home as well. So, and I think he meant it.
Well, Tony, it's a pretty magnificent setting, this Lindsay Park. It's nice to be living in luxury like this.
I'm actually in the gatehouse down the road, Anne-Marie. I'm not quite in here yet. The servants' quarters.
So you might have got the job, but...
Yeah, none of the privileges have come with it just yet. I've got to prove myself, I think.
Loyalty repaid, but the pressure was there.
I thought about this a lot and talking to my wife, Jo, and I was expecting like a 10% drop-off of clients. And I just thought that I'd set myself up to accept that because of the change and being a non-haze to train at Lindsay Park. And then to have the early success that we did, we had our best August for 10 years, and we're well ahead of schedule in September. So it's been absolutely fantastic by results, but every one of our clients has been very solid and stayed with us and full of support.
We're very impressed. Man is impressed, but I take a little bit longer to be.
Tony moves comfortably with the VIP clients, but only results can be calculated. Last week, Lee Freeman edged in front of McAvoy in the Melbourne winners list. Still, Tony has racked up more than 100 winners, close to $1 million in prize money. The Hong Kong connection keeping a close watch.
Lots of advice I cop. How much I take in's up to me, of course.
I'd give him a pass with credits. Not distinctions yet. He's got to win a Group 1 race.
He's watching the races and always on the phone saying, what'd you run that in that race for? You know, you idiot.
And what's the response?
I won't say I'm here. And Dave, unfortunately, takes a lot of horses off us and has been doing so for 5 or 6 years. So the thief, I know there should be law against that.
He dreams. He's dreaming. I definitely do, because I do like Tony, but I like myself a lot more. So it's a self-help business.
The schedule, the travelling, is now intense. Rarely does the ex-jockey actually make it back into the saddle.
And my brother was a jockey, and we always had ponies, and that's all I ever thought about. I just wanted to get out of school and be a jockey. And so that day came, and I was a jockey, but unfortunately for a very short time, got a little bit, grew too tall and went a bit wide.
Today from the grandstand, Tony will be riding North Boy home in the Guineas, quietly confident about his first taste of Group 1 glory. The 3-year-old nuggety gelding, half-brother to Northerly, notched 4 wins from his first 4 starts, including a convincing victory in the Ascot Vale Stakes.
Say, North Boy on this grandstand, rail in front from Euston off and UK on the far side, but North Boy all too good.
In his last outing at the Guineas Prelude, North Boy went to the front too early, but fought on for 3rd.
Lift, Ollie. Lift him, Ollie. Up tight in there.
Comes away and wins it well from King of Prussia, North Boy.
Today, the blinkers come off, and the hottest jockey in town, Damien Oliver, will still be in the driver's seat. The new boss at Lindsay Park, hoping to prove, yet again, he is the right man for one of the most coveted jobs in Australian racing.
Do you sometimes have to pinch yourself, the fact that you're the leading trainer here at Lindsay Park?
Absolutely. I mean, I felt I had the best job in racing, having had a chance to be an assistant to CS, David, and then Peter, with this beautiful facility that you saw today. And it just shows, I came here as a 15-year-old green kid from the bush, and here I am now as the trainer at Lindsay Park. It just shows if you persevere and work hard and you're passionate about what you do, you never know where you end up.
Great story there from Anne-Marie Sparkman. Good luck to Tony McAvoy and North Boy this afternoon. And the blinkers are coming off. And Simon O'Donnell, how much effect do you think that'll make to the horse this afternoon?
Well, that's the big thing, Ed. I think that those blinkers off, North Boy just might settle a little bit more and be a little stronger at the line over the 1,600 metres. Boys, that's what we've got to be looking for with the blinkers off, isn't it?
I'd say so. I just... the end of the 1,600 metres has got me terrified with North Boy.
But he's going to get good cover today, and if he relaxes from barrier 3 on the speed, probably just behind a leader like Magic Hatter, Who knows? I know the stable's very, very happy with the horse.
Well, as I said earlier in the telecast, I reckon this is the best three-year-old race I've seen in my time since 1996, that wonderful AJC Derby that included Octagonal and Falante, Nothing Like a Dane, and, of course, Saintly. Ken, we're going to pick the brains out of this. I want to know what you think is going to win and why you think it can win the Caulfield Guineas here today.
I think Viscount will win. Jack Ingham thinks he's his best horse since Octagonal. At this stage of his career, Octagonal had won one Group 1 race. This horse, Viscount, has already won 3. Here he is winning a Group 2 race, the Bill Stutt Stakes at Moonee Valley. This was to see how he'd go around the Melbourne Way, and he wasn't unduly punished, and I thought he won quite clearly for Dash for Cash. He'll race near the lead, which is a big advantage today. He's got the speed to take advantage of a good alley, and remember, in the last 10 years, only one horse outside of Barrier 4 has won the Caulfield Guineas. My trifecta is Viscount, Magic Albert and Royal Code.
Well, Ronnie, don't think you're not going to get a bit of sweat on your brow by telling us what you think. Are you going the same way with Ken?
I am. I think this horse has come to a peak on the right day. His last 2 wins have been sensational. He's the George Main Stakes. I reckon he was 85% right here. And we're talking about weight for age racing. We saw the difference between it in the last race when Freemason come back from weight for age racing to handicaps. This horse coming back to his own age today. Look at him here. Pulls out plenty. You've got a superstar weight for age horse chasing him here in Shogun Lodge. No, I think he's a very hard to beat. And as Ken says, he'll park himself into the right position. I think he'll put 2 Lonhro in for second. He's just got a tremendous will to win. And 7 Pure Theatre, I think he's untapped.
Well, I'll tell you what, fellas, you've put a fair bit of pressure on Kieran McAvoy, who'll be riding Viscount. Here he is with Anthony Mithen.
Well, Kieran, a promising start of the day. You've notched a winner and got a third, and you're on what should be perhaps the favourite in the Guineas in Viscount. How will he go?
Yeah, I think he's got the score on the board already. He's a quality horse of the field, I think, although it's got a lot of depth in it this year's Guineas. You know, he wouldn't be surprised if, you know, all of them could win. So, you know, down to luck in running, we're drawing a nice barrier 8. I'll give him a good chance in the race.
One of the best 3-year-old races you've ever ridden in?
Yeah, it would be. You know, it's a big occasion today, and there's a lot of big crowd, and you know, and the excitement's going to be huge.
There's the extra element of the Hawks camp not saying too much at all and staying mum on their 2 chances, Viscount and Lonhro. Can you split them for us? I mean, you're going to say Viscount, I suppose, but do you know much about the other one?
Well, Lonhro's got the form there as well. They're 2 different horses, but I think my horse, because he races handy on the speed and Lonhro can get back, you know, there's probably not much between them, but we'll find out after the Guineas today.
Good on you, Kieran. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, we certainly will find out after the Guineas, and Kieran McAvoy mentioned there, so did Anthony Mithen. Lonhro, the other John Hawkes runner. I've got a funny, sneaking suspicion that Simon Marshall leans towards Lonhro. Simon, what do you think of this classic coming up?
That's exactly right, Simon. I'm sticking with Lonhro due to the fact that I think he's a 1,600-metre horse. And, look, he's stepping up from the 14 there last start. Now, there's one rule of thumb that I follow out of the John Hawkes stable when he brings them from Sydney to Melbourne is back them first up when they run Melbourne Way. They always seem to win. I think Lonhro will do that. I think he'll come across from the barrier 10. There's speed inside him. I think that Viscount, he'll use him to come across. He's obviously the measuring stick. I've put Viscount in for second, but I think Lonhro's turn of foot over the 14 and 1,600 metres, he'll run them down. I think Viscount's more of a derby horse. I'm going to stick with him over the further trip, but very hard to split these 2. And look, I'm going to put Dash for Cash in for third. He's running the Vic Health Cup 2 starts back, which was on the same day as the Guineas Prelude, in which we saw Pure Theatre win, was far better than Pure Theatre's win. So I think Dash for Cash, with that little bit of weight for age credibility there, I think he's the smoky in the race with Jimmy Pumper Cassidy aboard. He'll give him the best ride from barrier 6. 2 from 1 and number 10, number 10 in for third, Dash for Cash.
Yes, Simon Marshall's thoughts there. Well, one of the horses we haven't heard much about is Viking Ruler. Trained by Clary Connors, but to be ridden by Lenny Beasley. Let's hear what the jockey says about his chances.
Well, Len, everyone's talking about the Sydney horses. You're on one of them, Viking Ruler. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I haven't probably drawn the best barrier today. I've drawn barrier 15 out of 15. We're probably going to have to get back on him and find a bit of cover. And you know, they're not really making up ground today, so it's going to be pretty hard. So I'm just hoping they really go hard, and I can follow one that's taking me into the race and have the last shot at them.
What do you think about the form of the Sydney horses as opposed to the Southern Siders down this way and the New Zealand horse Pure Theatre?
Well, the Sydney form's very strong. You know, I definitely think the Sydney Siders are a bit stronger than the Melbourne siders and the Kiwis, you know. So, yeah, it's pretty strong form, I think.
Biggest danger to Viking Ruler?
Well, I think Lonro, you know, I think he's a very nice horse.
Good on you. Thanks, Len. Good luck.
Thank you. Chat.
Yes, let's hope a big day for Lenny Beasley. Now, you blokes here, you wouldn't take offence if I said I reckon you're all talking a crock of not a lot of sense.
No, I think we're very realistic, we're unbiased, and we're very balanced racing men.
Well, I think it's 4-1 to the New South Wales horses at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, don't get me into that because I'm trying to figure out a way how I can get something from interstate over the line. Now, I'm going to actually give you an opinion on this.
Okay,
and I think you've all missed the boat, and I think you've missed it by missing Pure Theatre. I think Pure Theatre is a horse really on the up. Its win here in the Guineas Prelude was absolutely sensational. Now, you'll see him coming down the outside now in the orange and white sleeves, the colours of Terry Jarvis from the Oak Stud in New Zealand. He's by Nureyev. He really did find the line well here, I think, and did a lot of chasing. Now, the one thing, if I suppose you wanted something against Pure Theatre, is a little bit of inexperience. So I don't think Lonro will be far away. And also Viscount, I think the two John Hawkes runners were the main danger to Pure Theatre. Only thing I think is that little bit of inexperience.
No, he's definitely got a chance, and I promised you earlier, if you'd backed Colin Mill in the Melbourne Cup, I'd find out what happened to him, why he was a late scratching. He knocked his leg in the box this morning. They iced it quickly and were hoping that nothing had come of it, but just a bit of swelling and they had to scratch him.
Well, the Carlton Draft Caulfield Guineas is just around the corner. To find out what's happening in the ring, here's Andrew Voss.
And Simon, we've got the Crown Punting Challenge continuing as well today. There's Australia versus Ireland. We've got Nigel Lappin coming in and Dermot Early representing a whole nation. Let's get the bona fides as far as punting is concerned. You're a hardened race goer.
Well, I wouldn't say a hardened race goer, but I'm from the racing area in Ireland. In
Well, what's the hometown?
Kildare.
I know what he's saying. I can't understand with the accent. What are you going to do here? I mean, do something with confidence for us.
Well, I'm going to go for the money, and I'm going to throw 50 each way on Dash for Cash.
Dash for Cash is the tip on behalf of Ireland. Dash for Cash, of course, got plenty of Irish viewers watching at home, so Dash for Cash is the tip from Dermot. Now, Nigel, can you put Australian pride first? You're just a desperate, tragic punter, as I've received the mail. What can you do for us here?
I'm going. I used to love Octagonal when he was racing, so I'm going for his son Lonro, and I'm not sure if he's each way odds, but I'll just have 50 each way on him.
Good on you, Nigel. So that's Australia versus Ireland. Lonro is the Australian tip. Dash for Cash is the Irish tip. And just as far as the market is concerned, Viscount currently the outright favourite. We'll take a break on the Wide World of Sports. The big ones coming up. The Carlton Draft Caulfield Guineas.
Here's the big one coming up. 250, the Carlton Draft Caulfield Guineas, the 121st of the series. The classic for 3-year-olds over 1,600 metres. And what's the tote telling us, Kenny?
The tote's telling us that Viscount is at $6. That'll firm a little. You won't quite get that, of course. Lonro at $5.30. Magic Albert at $14. Seems nice odds to me. North Boy, $4.80. Very popular with parochial Victorian punters. Double that price on the New South Wales TAB. Viking Ruler at $12. Houston off at $20. $7 for Pure Theatre. Simon's Pick. $229 for Counter Agent. Be an upset if he won. Tully Dane at $71. Dash for Cash. Quite tip on track. Get back a little bit. Might get along the inside. $9.30. $88 for the Perth Horse Classic Cut. Ebony Knight at $33. $38 for Sir Enabar from the Bart Cummings stable. Royal Code at $15. And Magic Hatter, Ruffy, that'll be up near the lead at $121. Tiamo was scratched.
Well, the horses are in the mounting yard for the big classic. And number one, Ronnie, is Viscount.
Yeah, look at him. Look at the coat on him. He's just glowing at the moment and really hitting a peak at the right time. He'll go forward here. I can't believe how good a price he is.
Yes, still a little bit of fat in that, I would think. Number two, Lonro, the son of Octagonal, Ken.
Yeah, look, he's not a spitting image of his dad, but he's got the same temperament. He's always relaxed, never gets upset, and he's got his dad's big heart. He looks good. He still looks like a little Lockie to me.
Justin Sheen will be riding number three, and that's Magic Albert.
Yeah, he should go forward from a little bit of an awkward draw. No disgrace in going down narrowly to Lonro last start. It's just if he gets the breaks in the run.
North Boy will jump from barrier 3. Blinkers off. Damien Oliver on board, Ken.
Yeah, well, the pride of South Australia, and he'll be the pride of Melbourne if he wins. They'll claim him very quickly. Look, North Boy's a nice horse, half-brother to Northerly by Rory's Jester. He looks the part.
Yes, the 5 is Viking Ruler, winner last start of the Spring Champion. I'm not getting too close to him because he can lay a boot.
That'd be the first instructions you give your jockey here. Don't get behind him because he'll kick the eye out of a needle. I'll be keeping a close eye on him as far as a Derby's point of view is concerned. The saddle's come off, number 6 Euston off in the yard here. I don't know what the story is there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a line on what's going on. I think they're walking him straight back out of the yard, but the saddle has come off. No, they're not walking him out of the yard. Possibly they're going to resaddle him.
Reweigh, maybe.
Yeah, well, possibly to be reweighed, but that's number 6 Euston. We can't tell you much more than the saddle has come off. It's been taken back downstairs, but he's staying in the mounting hour. Well, that's a good sign. There doesn't seem to be too much panic around the Euston camp, but let's keep going through the field. We'll come back to Euston shortly. Number 7 is the horse I think can win the race, Pure Theatre.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. He's a classically bred horse by the champion European stallion Uraev. He looks a classic horse, and he's only lightly raced, only had the 4 starts. He's won 3, and he showed he was making progress with a win in the Guineas Prelude.
Number 8 is Counter Agent.
He's got ability. The saddle shifted on him last time. That was the excuse, but he has to lift to another level here.
Tully Dane looks to need to improve in his last couple of runs to have a chance in this.
Yeah, I think we duck over him, Simon.
Number 10, interesting runner from the Rick Hall Lacey camp, Dash for Cash, Ron.
Yeah, Dash for Cash here. He'll be more suited with the more speed on up front here today. He just dampened his finishing burst when Viscount controlled things up front last start. On his home track, give him a chance.
Number 11 is Classic Cut from Perth, who joins us.
Yeah, surprisingly good run last start when he was just behind Pure Theatre, King of Prussia and North Boy in the Guineas Prelude. Because of that, it worries me about all that form. But, you know, he's ready for today. He looks well. Brian York to ride him.
Horse there's a whisper around on is Ebony Knight, number 12, to run a sneaky race.
Yeah, and looking at the replay of the Guineas Prelude, you'd think he would have a place chance from barrier 2 here today. Nothing went right for him in the Guinea behind Pure Theatre last start, and I think he's fitter for a couple of runs back.
Number 13 from the Bart Cummings camp, Sir Anabar.
Yeah, won his first 3 starts, but then stepped up in class behind Viscount in the Billstud Stakes and finished 4th. Still, that's not bad. 3 wins and a 4th. He's got that Bart Cummings polish on him.
Only having his 4th start in the race is number 14, Royal Code. Glenn Boss on board. Impressive winner last start at Flemington.
Oh, he was good at Flemington last week, and quick back up here. I think he's going to be a star in the autumn. Just whether he can keep improving this preparation at his first go, I don't know. But don't underestimate David Hall with his horses.
And number 15, Ken, is Magic Hatter.
Yeah, Magic Hatter's up from Sydney. Best thing I can say about him is he'll race on the speed, but he hasn't got the form of the other Sydney horses.
Well, Euston still without a saddle. Paddy Payne is obviously not on board. He's not going to ride him bareback, but they are getting the saddle back on now. So possibly a reweigh, or some of the gear may have broken. That'd be the reason that Euston was unsaddled. But as you can see, things are about to get underway again, and he'll be resaddled and take his part in the Carlton Draft Caulfield Guineas. Well, boys, let's just quickly recap the tips.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on Viscount. Simon, I think he's an outstanding horse. I think he's just come right this preparation, and I expect him to win his 4th Group 1 race.
Ronnie, you haven't changed your mind?
No, I think he's terrific odds at 4-1, and he's carrying my money.
Well, Simon Marshall stayed with the John Hawkes camp with Lonhro, and I'm going to have a little crack at Pure Theatre from New Zealand. Well, I wonder what the punters are saying out the back. Here's Andrew Voss to tell us.
Well, Simon, about 30 minutes ago when the opening market came up, it was pretty tight at the top of the betting, but that's not the case now. I did a little walk along the rails. All the big money has been for the top one, Viscount. It is now an outright favourite. Second line of betting is shared by Lonhro, North Boy and Pure Theatre.